My friend, behind the scenes at the Jefferson Health Training Complex, Howie Roseman just hit the button on a decision that will define the Eagles' defensive line for years to come. The clock was running, and the deadline was 3 o'clock this afternoon. And my friend, when you find out the number we're talking about, you'll understand exactly why this move was absolutely inevitable. We're talking about more than $27 million guaranteed for 2027 for one of the most dominant defensive tackles in the NFL today. And that's just the beginning of this story. I'm going to break down everything this move means for the Eagles' cap space, for the defensive line, and what's coming in an extension negotiation that could become one of the biggest in NFL history for a defensive tackle. But first, if you follow the Eagles closely and don't want to miss a single move from this team, hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel, because the 2026 offseason is delivering content every single day. Alright, let's get right into it. The Eagles exercised the fifth-year option for Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle selected 9th overall in the 2023 draft. According to Zach Berman of The Athletic, the decision was confirmed today, and it was expected. Carter has been selected to 2 Pro Bowls in 2024 and 2025, which completely changes the financial equation on this option. For players chosen for 2 or more Pro Bowls on the original ballot, the option value equals the franchise tag at their position. The defensive tackle franchise tag in 2026 came in at $27.13 million. That is the guaranteed number Carter will receive in 2027, unless an extension gets done before that. And there's more context here you need to understand. The Eagles also exercised the 5th-year option for Nolan Smith, the other first-round pick from 2023. Both of the organization's picks from that draft will have their futures secured through at least 2027. But here's the thing. Carter's number is more than double Smith's, precisely because Carter has built a resume that puts him in a completely different category. Let me take a step back and tell you this guy's story from the very beginning. Jalen Carter was widely considered the top talent in the 2023 draft, technically superior to every other prospect in that class, but he arrived at the draft carrying a massive weight. Before the event, Carter was charged with reckless driving and street racing, connected to the accident that caused the deaths of Georgia offensive lineman Devin Willock and recruiting analyst Chandler LaCroix in January of 2023. Several teams removed Carter from their boards entirely. Some simply didn't want the risk. Carter reached a plea deal in the case, avoiding jail time. But the damage to market perception was done. The result? One of the best defensive linemen in a decade slipped all the way to the 9th pick. The Eagles moved up 1 spot, trading with the Chicago Bears, who slid to 10 and selected right tackle Darnell Wright. Howie Roseman, as usual, seized the opportunity, and history proved he was absolutely right. In his rookie season, Carter finished with 6 sacks. In 2024, he posted 4.5 sacks with 12 tackles for loss, the highest total of his career to that point. He earned Pro Bowl invitations in back-to-back years and received second-team All-Pro recognition in 2024. ESPN's pass rush win rate ranked Carter 4th in 2024 and 18th in 2025, a drop explained by context. Carter underwent procedures on both shoulders in 2025 and missed time, but returned in Week 17. The Eagles did not place him on IR, and the absences are unlikely to affect extension negotiations. But what really dominates this conversation now, my friend, is what comes after the 5th-year option. Because the extension Jalen Carter is going to pursue has every ingredient to be historic. The real question becomes this: what does the current market look like for an elite defensive tackle? Let's go to the numbers. Chris Jones signed a 5-year, $158.75 million contract with the Kansas City Chiefs in March of 2024, and at that time, the NFL salary cap stood at $255.4 million. Today, the cap sits at $301.2 million. That gives Carter's agent enormous ammunition at the negotiating table. If the cap grows to something above $320 million in 2027, which is projected based on recent league growth, Carter can build a strong argument for a contract above $30 million per year, possibly well above that. For a closer reference point, Jordan Davis, the Eagles' other defensive tackle, signed a 3-year, $78 million extension in March of 2026. Dexter Lawrence received a 1-year, $28 million extension from the New York Giants. Carter is a 3 technique, a position focused on backfield disruption, different from Davis's role, and that type of player historically commands larger contracts because of the direct impact they have on the passing game. Carter's profile points towards something even more aggressive than what Davis received. Now think about what this means in the context of the NFC East, my friend. The Eagles are locking in one of the most disruptive interior defenders in football at a time when their division rivals are scrambling to build competitive rosters. The Dallas Cowboys just went through a major roster rebuild. The New York Giants are still trying to find their identity on both sides of the ball. The Washington Commanders have made progress, but their defensive line doesn't have a player at Carter's level of impact. Securing Carter long-term isn't just a football decision. It's a statement to the entire NFC East that Philadelphia intends to remain the standard in this division for years to come. When Jalen Hurts and this offense are clicking, having Carter anchoring the defense makes the Eagles a genuinely dangerous team on both sides of the ball. That combination is what Super Bowl rosters are built on. A January 2026 report already indicated that Carter and Davis were at the top of Howie Roseman's extension priority list, and the Eagles' track record speaks for itself. This organization is known for acting early. The Devonta Smith extension in 2024 was the first time in the fifth-year option era that a first-round wide receiver was extended with 2 years still remaining on his rookie deal. The Eagles like to lock their players in before reaching the most expensive window. Getting a deal done with Carter this offseason would fit perfectly within that philosophy. But you might be wondering about the off-field incidents. Carter was effectively suspended at the opening of the 2025 season after an episode where he spit in the direction of Dak Prescott during the Cowboys' season opener. The league and the Eagles addressed it. Outside of that, Carter has had no other conduct issues in the NFL. And here's what that incident actually tells you about Jalen Carter, my friend, and I want you to think about this carefully. That moment wasn't the behavior of someone who's disengaged or going through the motions. That was the reaction of a competitor who cares so deeply about winning that his emotions boiled over at the wrong moment against a division rival. Now, nobody is defending what he did. It was wrong, and he faced consequences for it. But the fire that caused that reaction? That's the same fire that produces 12 tackles for loss in a regular season. That makes offensive linemen across the league uncomfortable every single snap. And that drove him to return from shoulder surgery in time for the playoffs. The Eagles don't just want Carter's talent. They want that mentality in their locker room. And Roseman's decision to exercise this option today confirms that the organization sees the complete picture. And they're betting on the competitor, not the incident. So the question that will dominate the conversation until training camp is, can the Eagles close Carter's extension before the season kicks off? And what number would it take to satisfy one of the best defensive tackles on the planet? Given the cap growth, his production history, and the comparison to Jones, it wouldn't be a surprise to see the Eagles offer something in the range of $30 to $35 million per year on a multi-year extension. If Carter delivers an all-pro caliber season in 2026, that number only goes up. What this move also confirms is that the Eagles' defensive line is being built with a very clear long-term vision. With Carter as the centerpiece of the three-technique role and Davis anchoring the interior, Philadelphia has two of the best defensive tackles in the NFL, either under contract or in negotiation. And with the departures of Josh Sweat, Hazen Reddick, and Jalen Phillips over recent years, Carter has become even more critical to this team's defensive identity. So the question that remains, my friend, should the Eagles try to lock up Carter's extension this offseason, or wait to see how the 2026 season plays out? And do you think Carter can become the highest-paid defensive tackle in NFL history, surpassing Chris Jones? Drop your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to keep you updated with the latest Eagles news.